Hi, stamping friends. It's Marilyn coming to you from Stamping Creations with Marilyn, Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada, on this Thursday night. So tonight I am going to share with you one of the new products that we are able to purchase, and customers are now, from Stampin Up, Eden's Garden. I'm going to share some of the pieces of that, along with something that I've had in my stash for quite a while and haven't used much, and that is the Gilded leafing. So you'll notice the title I put on here was Gilded Leafing Meets Eden's Garden. So show you just one thing that I've learned with that, and it's really quite an amazing product. So I will turn you down to my desk shortly, but I'd like to welcome you all. If you're newcomers, welcome, welcome. Please comment, say hi, where you're from. I will read the comments as I can and answer any questions if possible, but I know as I see Karen coming on, hello Karen, we do have a number of other demonstrators on here who are more than willing to share with us as well. So please continue to do that. I love the community that we've built. Hi Gail and Bonnie, hello. So it's just a great time to create together and share all the things that we've learned. So while I'm turning the camera around and getting things organized, my question tonight is, how do you celebrate Remembrance Day? In Canada, we have Remembrance Day coming next week on November 11th. And I know in the US, it's Veterans Day. In Europe, it is Armistice Day, I believe. And as part of what I do, I've had a number of family members in the armed forces, and lucky enough that all the ones I knew personally did come home. My cousin's dad was killed when she was 3, and she was born in England, and she came with her mother to Canada and ended up meeting and marrying my uncle. So we have kind of a connection that way to someone who did not make it home from the war. So November 11th has always been really, really special to us, and we don't usually go out to any celebrations, but we certainly make sure that we do watch it on TV coming from Ottawa, and think of all those who have given the ultimate for us to be free like we are today. So let me know what you guys do in celebration. Hello, Catherine. And I'm going to turn the camera down, try not to make you dizzy, and we'll do a little bit of crafting. So chat amongst yourselves. Take a quick peek at the other side of my room, and I'll slowly turn that over and try to get it lined up on my desk. So looks like that's working. I believe I must be in the right place because you guys were commenting and you did find me, so that's a good thing. Hello, Sharon. So Eden's Garden. I have the set. I have all the pieces of it. There are some of it, as you probably know, that are time sensitive. And sorry, I didn't check the website today to see if things had sold out already, but hopefully not. So when you look at this bundle, this collection, right now the collection you can get, customers as well can get, and that includes everything. In the new mini catalog that we're going to be getting for January, the bundle is available, which is the stamp set and the dies, and I'll show you those closer in a moment. But what's only available for the month of, no, not for the month of November, from now until January, as long as supplies last, is the designer paper, the cotton paper, and the garden gems. Now, cotton paper I have not used yet, but I have seen some videos where people have stamped on it. I've also seen it used as packaging, like for gift bags. So that is something that I'll be working with in the near future. The gems are really, really sweet. And the paper, of course, like all paper was from Stampin' Up, is to die for. So if you haven't already purchased some of that, give it a try, because it is very special paper. So further to showing you that, here are the gems. And of course it's glaring because I have lights for you to see things, but there's 2 different sizes of this color and shape, and then the one size of these. So really, really sparkly. I can see maybe some Christmas things happening with those, whatever. Eden's Garden stamp set has, again, what they've been doing recently is a lot of mixing of fonts to make things really special. I can never remember the name of it, but the stamp set that does its own shading. Anyway, hello Glenda. And some leaves, and I have decided on this one that I am going to keep the dies in here like this on a magnetic sheet, so you can see this leaf would cut out, maybe, no, not exactly. So obviously just to make your own leaves, this is from here. So those are the dies, and then the stamp sets. Looks like I got something on that one. So that is my stamp set and dies. And the paper, I think I showed this. Thank you, Bonnie. Distinctive, yes. I can never remember the word when I need it. This is the paper with some gold on each sheet on the one side. As you can see, this is the one I'm going to work with tonight. And then on the flip side, you have more subtle colors there. So, yes, Glenda, it was distinctive. Thank you. I knew you guys would be there for me. And then this is the paper. I don't know if you can see it, hear it. It's just a little bit thicker than what I would call tissue packing paper that I would get normally for packing gift bags. So again, I'm going to be doing some things with that where I stamp on it even and see what comes up there. So for the pieces tonight that I need, I'm going to use Whisper White cardstock at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. So my card is going to go landscape. I'm going to use a piece of that gorgeous paper to give it some dark colors, some light green, dark green, and some gold. I'm going to use some of the shimmer ribbon that is on page 45. And I have already tied the bow because tying bows on camera isn't my thing and a lot of other people's by the sounds of it. And I have a piece of Whisper White I'm going to put the words on, which I'm going to emboss and then cut out with the cut and emboss machine. So the gilded leafing, if you haven't worked with it, comes in a jar like this, and if you were to open it and dump it all out, it would make lots and lots. And as you can see from here, it is definitely staticky. So I usually try not to huff and puff and breathe too much when I'm working with that. And for me, I have put some of it in a container like this, and I will have to put a little more in for tonight. I have a fairly stiff paintbrush to brush off the extra pieces when I'm working with it. These are a couple of samples that I did when I first got it. This one is done with just the heat embossing, and then this one is done with Versamark and the heat and stick powder, and then the gilded leafing. So you can see it's just a little bit different shade of gold. Hopefully you can see. And then this is done with the tear and tape, which is what I'm going to use tonight. This is done with glue dots. So anything that's sticky will work with this gilded leafing. So I'm going to, before I go there, I want to tell you where it is. It's on page 143, number 12. So that's what it looks like in the catalog. So that jar of 3 ounces of gold is $12.25. So not a bad deal at all there. Pardon me. Yes, Linda. The gold leaf is pretty dazzling. So to begin with, I wanted, this is my card, so just so you know, I'm not really just flying all the way tonight. I'm going to put that on, but before I do that, I want to put my ribbon around the designer paper. And before I do that, because I've been known for stamping crooked or stamping upside down. I want to stamp my words on the inside. And from this set, I have got Dear Friend, How Are You? And that's a very common question nowadays, of course. So I'm going to stamp that on the inside. And you might notice I have my stamp kitty corner on my block, because then when I go to stamp, I'm looking at the stamp, not the block. So there is my inside greeting, and I'm going to, oh, Kathleen, hello, welcome. Late in your part of the country, isn't it? Or late, much later than here, obviously, being in Eastern Canada. So then I need my Versamark, because I'm going to do heat embossing on here. And this is still one of my favorite techniques, is to use the Versamark, the gold embossing, or any color of embossing powder, and the heat tool. When I first started stamping with my friend, this was one of the first techniques she showed us, and it was like, wow. And like I say, it is still one of my favorites. So I have stamped hello there, and you probably can't see it on there, but trust me, it is there. And then I have my gold in one of these containers again, and for something like this, I just do that with it. And this writing on this stamp is quite fine, as you can see, so I want to make sure that I haven't got, well, I usually make sure anyway that I don't have extra pieces like that around. And then I will reach my heat tool, so bear with me, chat amongst yourselves when it's noisy. This is a piece of cardstock that I put tin foil on, and an alligator clip that that I use to hold my smaller embossing pieces like this together, so that I don't burn my fingers. And trust me, it only takes once or twice before I remember, oh yeah, I should be using that background piece. So to emboss, heat emboss, I usually hold my heat tool till you can see it starting to change color, and then just slowly move it along. There's no sense doing this with it or anything else. And if you happen to have your gilded leafing or your embossing powder open, it might go flying. So another reason to hold it fairly even. So then I took that and I used one of the rectangle dies to cut it out. Okay, so rather than show that to you, I will just show you the one I did earlier today. And now we are going to play with the gilded leafing. So for this one, I wanted to, and again, it's any of you who've followed me or watched me, you know I'm kind of anal about a few things, and one of them is about having things straight and even. So all I did was put a piece there, and this is my silicone mat, and I'm only putting it on, well, I'm putting it on there because I can put the tape down on there and then lift it. And that's basically all you need to do. Then I am going to trim it because I only want it going up to the edge. And these are scissors, as you can tell, they're kindergarten scissors or whatever, but I don't care if I get adhesive on them. I do care if I get it on my paper snips. So once that's done, I can peel off the top layer of this. Whoops. And all I have to do is turn that over in my dish of the leafing. Now, you'll notice as I lift that, You can see it moving. Very, very flyaway. So I'll just add a little bit more of that. And I don't try to put it all back in there. I just keep it in that dish. So because I have the stickiness there, I can lay this in here and just pick up. And it sticks to the bottom, yes, but it does peel off. And you can move it around. Most of the time, just rubbing it like this with your fingers will keep it where it belongs. And if it's like that, it wasn't totally covered, you can go back and add a little bit more. I was going to, forgot, but I wondered if, because of this, and maybe some of you have tried it, have you ever used something like the embossing buddy on your hands before you start playing in here like this? I thought of it earlier tonight. I thought, oh, maybe I should try and see if that helps keep it from my fingers, but I forgot. So you can see it's not perfect shine the whole way, but I really like how it gives you a different gold look. And because we used tear and tape along there, it is just straight across. There's nothing. So you can envision you could do letters if you wanted to make letters out of the tear and tape. I think that would look really good. Give me some other ideas. What else would you, shapes or things. The other one that I've seen, and again, I haven't tried it yet, but who knows, maybe in a week or two you'll see me trying that, is someone took one of our adhesive sheets and totally covered like the layer that goes on your card, and then covered the whole thing with gold, and then just put a piece of a die cut of a flower or something over it, and the whole back of the card, instead of using gold foil paper, they used the gold leafing for the backing. So it looked like it worked well. Maybe even a drier sheet. Yes, so maybe. So to put this on again, when I did this card, I wanted it in the middle. So because and maybe you can't see it from there, just a sec. Because our grid paper has the numbers, I like using these for my, and I didn't bring my glue. Look at that. The other thing, if you remember a couple weeks ago or last week, I was talking about using the Seal Plus and how it was tearing the paper. I saw shortly after that, and maybe some of you have seen it, and maybe you can tell me if you've tried it, is that they said with the seal you have to press quite hard. And maybe those of us, I think Karen, you were one of the ones with me that said you struggled with that maybe we aren't pressing hard enough to make that work the way it should. So there I have my 2 inches, my fingers are sticking to it, on that side, and I can just line it up there. So that one I am going to put on just with my liquid adhesive because I want to raise my greeting with dimensionals. Make sure I got the right side of the card. Again, I've been known to have to take things apart, and I'm sure some of you, or maybe all of you, realize that if you do have to take things apart, if you've glued it upside down or whatever, you can use that heat tool to do some of that as well. So just keep that in mind. Keep it close by your desk. So then for this, all I did was put dimensionals. Oh, I'm really not organized tonight. They're back in the drawer. And I'm only going to put dimensionals on either side here because I want it to go over the ribbon and not, so therefore I won't put one there. And I do want room for the bow again, like I did on that card. And I'm not totally sold on that rhinestone that I have there, so I may grab a different one to put on this one. I like to pick my card up and look and see, is that where I want it, before I actually press that down like that. My bow is going to go on with the glue dot, and that works well by picking it up here. And I think the gold, of course, brings out the gold that's in the paper and just really puts it all together. Now, like I say, I wanted to use that, but I don't know, by itself it just looks kind of not great. So I'm going to, and we're allowed this, right? When we're crafters, we can just add things here, there, and wherever, whenever. So on this one, I think I'm just going to use these guys because I like them better. I do like to try to work in threes, and I like them all on that white. So that would be my card for tonight. So again, a reminder for any of you who comment, and I see lots of you have been, thanks for the hearts, Doreen, that I do put your name in a draw, and I'm going to do that here shortly, and send out whatever I made tonight. So this card will go to someone who has commented, and I thank you for commenting, for sharing, for subscribing to my YouTube channel, for following my Facebook page. I understand the likes part of the Facebook page is going to go away, and there's some big changes coming with Facebook, as you've probably realized. And I do require, or request, not require, that if you do win, can you please send me your mailing address? Even if you're watching from the States, from outside of Canada, I can mail cards to you. I cannot mail product to you. So that's why if you're on my website and you see my retired things for sale, I cannot send them anywhere outside of Canada. So, or even if you want to buy products from me, which I'd love, I can't send those outside of Canada. So here's another card I made with that Eden's Garden set. A little bit different ribbon, different die cut. Well, we didn't use their die cuts on there. I have another one. Oh, that's with a different set. I'll try that later. With this set, we did this one, and Karen's on here. Thank you, Karen, for showing us this. This is the Merriest Moments hybrid embossing folder. It's embossing and die cuts that go with it. And this card is made to stand up. And if I, there, well, it does stand up. I just have been messing with it. So a great card, great card. And I'm working with that set for my monthly card club coming up here on the 17th. So those of you who are coming to that will get to see something else I've done with that. And again, I have just read about another technique to use that particular set for. So I hope to get something done there to share with you on the 17th as well. So last week we made this, and I hope you all had a good time with your Halloween. We had 7 little people show up here, and the first two were a couple of young girls. I'm going to guess maybe 10, 11. And I had these packaged inside our clear envelope so they could just pick them out of the basket. And these two girls, I love what you do. That looks so great. And I have put my label, return address label on them. So maybe somewhere along the line, somebody will want to make some of those, and I will be able to teach some more. So I would love that. So again, any questions that you have that I haven't answered, I will go back and look at all the comments. I will post this up on my YouTube channel, hopefully tonight. I've been having some computer issues today, so who knows. But I won't give up. I will keep on and love sharing with all of you, and will continue to do so. So before we leave, I would like to switch to my Wheel of Winning, or whatever it's called, Wheel of Names it's called, sorry. And I have all these names from last week for those who commented. And I see there's a glare, but I'll try and hold it so you can see. And I'm going to spin, and the winner is going to get this. It will lay flat. I can get it in the mail to you, or if you're close by, I'll maybe just deliver it to you. So here goes. And our winner is Rhonda C. So Rhonda, if you're watching, or when you do watch, please send me your mailing address, and I will get that off to you. And again, I have a few more days. You can register for my Christmas card class. That's in the header to this video. And I will be making samples for that very shortly. And then I'm working on January classes. I probably won't have a lot in December, as most of you are busy, just like me, so I don't think that would be beneficial to either of us. But I am going to be working on my Christmas cards and get them out. And looking forward to that, and lots of great things coming with Stampin' Up. We do have an event next weekend, so looking forward to learning a lot there and sharing with all of you there. So thanks for joining me. Keep in touch. Take care.